Hello, welcome. This is D.Weeks. He is an average 7th grader. He is African American with no disabilities and is proficient in English based on the data. Amongst his peers, he is receiving free and reduced lunch. At the end of 2007, Daniel took the FSA to determine his level of achievement in each subject area, mainly English and math. His reading score was a 285, which is in the range of a state level 1. His math score was a 326, which is in the range of a level 2. A level 2 is what the state considers to be just below grade level. At the beginning of the year, he also took an assessment to help guide his future teacher, his teacher of the year, that to better assist each student with their abilities, strengths, weaknesses. This assessment is called the FAIR assessment. It collects data in areas of word recognition, vocabulary, knowledge, reading, comprehension, and syntactic knowledge, which is basically his sentence structure. Okay, so Daniel scored below his peers both at the classroom level and at the grade level in these reading assessments. That means compared to his peers inside his classroom, he is on the lower end as well as with his peers amongst the entire grade level in the school. Okay, the state data from last year says that a 6th grader should, so the average 6th grader, when Daniel was in 6th grade, he took this FSA, the Florida State Assessment, and it came back that Daniel scored a 285. As you can see, a 285 falls at the level 1 range. That means we like to see students here at the level 3. That means that they are at grade level amongst the peers, performing like a normal 6th, early 7th grader should be. That's where we like to see those students. With Daniel being at a level 1, you can tell that he's struggling based on that data. He's struggling in his reading skills, his comprehension skills, word recognitions, all of those things. In math, Daniel does a little bit better. His score was a 326, falling at the higher end of the level 2. So he's really, really close at getting that on grade level. So we're definitely going to encourage Daniel to keep performing his best in math and just keep supporting him in those math skills and just getting him stronger at those things that he needs. Next, we talk about how he does at the district level. So this is what the district likes to see as an average, which is a 623. Daniel's at a 556. So he's really missing over 100 words that he should be recognizing as a early 7th grader, really. In the vocabulary, the district likes to see that he knows about 650, whatever is tested, that the score is a 650. Daniel's at a 552, again, 100 points below that. His percentile amongst his peers at the 17th. So if the classroom is recognizing 100 words on grade level, Daniel's only recognizing 17 of those 100 words compared to his peers in his class. Reading comprehension, they like to see it at the 640. Daniel's performing at a 367. What that basically means is that Daniel, because of his hard time recognizing those words, he probably has a hard time understanding the vocabulary of those words. Therefore, it's taking him harder time to comprehend what he is reading. He is in the 2nd percentile of his peers, very, very low in the comprehension part of those harder questions that we like to ask when we comprehend and think about what we just read. The syntactic knowledge, we like to see a 695. Daniel's performing at a 620. It's the 9th percentile amongst his peers. So what that means is that when he's writing, he can perform grammatically correct, knowing that you get capitalization at the beginning of the words, or the sentences. You know, if it's a proper noun, he's capitalizing it. There's a punctuation at the end, proper tense of a verb, using the right kind of those things. So he's also very low in that. That again goes back to word recognition and vocabulary. If he's not understanding those kind of things, it's really hard to put a sentence together. My recommendations for Daniel. So what I would like to see with Daniel is that he gets a lot more small group time. Definitely get him tiered into those interventions where he's getting more small group, even one-on-one time if it's possible, honing in on building not only those word strengths, vocabulary strengths, but also probably his confidence. You know, he's probably seeing other peers around him being really good at things, and with him not being good at certain things, he may have a low self-esteem. So just really building on all of it together as a student. One example I gave was sitting down with him in a small group talking about a word of the day. The word that I chose was exuberant, which I believe is a 7th grade word. I don't know, I teach 3rd grade. So exuberant, let's sound it out. Let's cover up the individual parts. Exuberant, okay? Sounding it out into syllables, covering it up, the words, making sure that he hears all those letter sounds, if they're combined letter sounds or blended letter sounds, repeating it until he can really recognize it and know it. Next, we'd show a picture of what exuberant might look like on a person. Asking Daniel, hey, let's talk about what exuberant means. Let's define it together. Does this person look sad? No. This person looks happy and excited and pleasure, right? So you would then discuss and come to a proper definition with the students. So then the next thing you do is talk about how maybe a time when Daniel felt exuberant in his time, you know, what made him happy, what made him excited. And then you talk about that for a minute, and then you'd ask Daniel, okay, well, let's put it into a sentence using the word exuberant. Okay, put it into a sentence, and that's where you work on his language skills or his syntax skills. And just kind of doing that, small group, individual, keep it doing that with him. As far as assessments in the classroom goes, if we're taking a vocabulary test, you know, again, doing it one-on-one, building that confidence with him. I would give Daniel more time, okay? I would sit down with him, probably go over, you know, let's sound out these words together. You know these words. You know, again, let's go over the strategies that we use, sounding those out into individual parts. I would then make sure that I am boosting Daniel's confidence again. Building him up, knowing that he can do this. We've done it. We've talked about these words, that he is very capable of doing something like this. And then if he did get a good grade on it, we would then recognize that good grade, either putting it out in the hallway for others to see, maybe giving a call home saying, hey, I'm really proud of Daniel. He got an 80 on his vocab test. That's fantastic news, okay? Making sure that you're building that confidence with him. For assessment intervention, I would definitely hope and see that I would get Daniel tiered. I would recommend a 504 for extended time with his struggling in math. 504s can be complicated, especially since he has no diagnosis of a disability. But with Daniel's hard work, as long as he's working hard and he's a student that does work hard, I believe that just having that one-on-one time, building that confidence with him, and showing that he is able to be successful will make him successful later in the end. It does take a team to do that. So with you know, the teacher's help, hopefully the parents' help, even though they may be in a low socioeconomic situation, maybe there is somebody, you know, an aunt somewhere along the way that he can connect with and help build that team, and he can work hard for us. So I would love to see Daniel improve. I believe that he can improve, and that is all I have for Daniel.